Hello class 6 students. Today we are going to start chapter 2 of our history, which is early humans. Learning objectives. Our ancestors, Paleolithic age, Paleolithic culture, prehistoric period, features of Paleolithic age, discovery of fire. Let's warm up. Look the picture and answer the following questions. In which country was this picture found? B. How many years old is this picture? C. What are the colors used in the picture made up of? Application skills. Given below is a painting of the Stone Age settlement. Describe the scene in your own words in about 10 to 15 sentences, keeping in mind the location of the settlement, the kinds of houses, the clothing, and the other activities in which the people are involved. What are the tools being used? How are they being used? Can you notice anything which signifies that these people knew about fire? Our ancestors. With the feature and lifestyle similar to that of apes, the ancestors were called anthropoids, which means man-like animals. Men went through a long evolutionary period. As a result of this evolution, modern men appeared on the earth as recently as 40,000 years ago. As an ape man, he ate whatever he could find around, like wild fruits, roots, small insects, and worms. He slept on trees and in caves. He was always in danger of being attacked by the wild animals. In the initial stage, men walked like apes. Slowly, he learned to stand erect on his feet. His hands were free and he could hold things and also pick and throw things to protect himself. This is the image of early human. Fact file. The brain growth of early humans only began due to the increased protein intake from all increasingly meals-oriented diet. Prehistoric period. The age in which the earliest human beings lived is called the prehistoric period. We may divide the prehistoric period into 3 consecutive periods named for their respective tool-making technologies. First, the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age. In this chapter, we shall partly study about the Stone Age only. The Stone Age. As you may know, the period of the Stone Age is divided into 4 parts. Paleolithic Age, Old Stone Age, 5 lakh to 10,000 BC. Mesolithic Age, Middle Stone Age, 10,000 to 8,000 BC. Neolithic Age, New Stone Age, 8,000 to 4,000 BC. Chalcolithic Age, Copper Age, 4,000 to 2,000 BC. Paleolithic Age. The Paleolithic or Old Stone Age is divided into 3 periods. Lower Paleolithic, the tools used by them were axes, cleavers, chopping tools, etc. Middle Paleolithic, the people used flakes. Upper Paleolithic, the tools used were like budge and scrapers. Chipped stones made of hard rock called quartzite was found in India, hence they were called quartzite men. In this stage, man was nomad and food gatherer. He did not stay at one place. He kept moving from one place to another in search of food. He is also called hunter-gatherers as he killed animals and ate raw meat. He moved in groups and used to eat roots of plants, wild fruits, nuts, seeds, etc. that grew naturally as he did not know how to grow food. When the food used to finish at a particular place, he used to move to another place. This is the image of Stone Age men. Think smarter. For what purpose were Paleolithic tools used? Features of Paleolithic age. Clothing. He used to cover his body with the leaves or bark of the trees in the cold weather. Dwelling place. Early man used to live on treetops or in caves. Caves were used to provide shelter from heat and rain and help them to protect themselves from wild animals. Tools. Early men used stone tools. Some tools made of bones have also been found at number of places. This is the image of tools of Paleolithic period. Tools have been found in Rewa, Bundelkhand, Kurnool, Madhya Pradesh, etc. In India, various kinds of implements like knives, axes, spears, stone hammers, scrapers, digging tools have been found. Most of the stone tools were made of flint, as with it, tools could easily be shaped. Tools were used to skin the animals, spears and arrows for hunting of animals, cutting of roots and fruits to scrape the bark of the trees, digging of ground to get roots of the plants to eat, etc. Kinds of tools. Hand tools. These were spear-shaped tools used for cutting or smashing things. These were sharp on all sides. Core tools. They had sharp edges and were used to cut trees. Hammer and hand axes were some examples. Flint tools. They were made from small stones. They were sharpened and used as choppers and knives. Some cities like Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh, Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, Bai in Maharashtra and Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh are places where we can find these tools. Techniques of making tools. The remnants of the tools found show that they could have been made by two techniques. First, stone on stone. This technique was used in which one stone, which was to be shaped, was held in one hand and another stone was held in the another hand as a hammer. The second stone. This is the image of technique of making tools by striking one stone against another. The second stone or the hammer was struck on the core in a manner to break away parts of the stone and give the desired shape to the core stone and convert it into a tool. Pressure flaking. Pressure flaking is a method of trimming the edge of a stone tool by removing small stony flakes by pressing on the stone with a sharp stone rather than striking it. Paleolithic culture. The knowledge about the culture of Paleolithic men is based mainly on archaeological evidences. This includes skeletal remains of men and animals, things made by the primitive men, his paintings on the rocks and cave walls. The view about the life of the primitive man can be confirmed by observing the tribal groups of the Todas in the Nilgiri Hills and the Unjes and the Jarawas in the Andaman Islands. Bands, families and division of labor. It was important for humans to live in groups for the sake of self-protection. Such small groups are called bands. Bands could have had up to 60 to 80 members. These members worked on the basis of division of labor among themselves. These groups tried to tackle a hostile environment. This is the image of early women used to take care of children. They hunted animals, both big and small, gathered a variety of plant food, constructed shelters for themselves. Men and women may have done all the other tasks together, or it is possible that some tasks were done by men alone, such as hunting, and some by women only, such as taking care of the children. Customs and beliefs. There is nothing known to us about the customs and beliefs of those times. There is not much data available which could point to their religious beliefs. Since they feared the fury of nature, perhaps they worshipped nature. But the correct answer to these questions await further discoveries, research and excavations by archaeologists. Prehistoric art. A lot of rock paintings have been found in the caves and rock shelters where people of this age resided. These paintings and engravings exhibit animals, birds, human figures, hunting scenes, and geometric designs. Case study. Let's have a look at the case study of Bhimbetka. Bhimbetka. Although there are over 150 sites where Stone Age rock paintings are found, Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh is the largest and the most spectacular among them. This thickly forested area is home to many types of plants and animals even today. It definitely seems to have been a good habitat for people in those times because of cave shelters. Water flowing from cliff tops in streams and rocks which could be used for making tools. There was plenty of food for them to eat here. The caves look like some modern art galleries from the inside. Most of these paintings are 10,000 years old. They depict boars, tigers, elephants, leopards, deer, panthers, antelopes, fish, frogs, lizards, squirrels, and birds. Some are hunting scenes, while in some scenes, animals are chasing men. This is the image of Bhimbetka. Discovery of fire. Discovery of fire must have been accidental. It is likely that two stones might have been rubbed together and spark would have come and burnt some dry leaves, and this must have given the idea to early man of fire. It was the most important discovery of men. Slowly and gradually, he must have learnt the usefulness of fire. This is the image showing discovery of fire. Think smarter. For what purposes were Paleolithic tools used? Usefulness of fire. Number 1. Men started to eat cooked meat rather than the raw meat. Number 2. He could light the fire outside the cave to protect himself from the wild animals. Number 3. He could get warmth from the fire in the cold weather. Now let's have a look at the case study of Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is one of the oldest plateaux of the Indian subcontinent. It has many rivers flowing from the western edges towards the Bay of Bengal. The region has a warm climate and rocky surface. It has huge stretches of forest, and all these factors could have helped the human beings of the Stone Age to be able to find food, water and shelter in comfortable temperatures. Many sites of human settlements of Stone Age have been found spread over in different parts of the Deccan Plateau. Most of these are alongside the various rivers and their tributaries. One such site where explorers and archaeologists have found many signs of the Stone Age men having lived is Hansgi. This is close to the river Krishna. Hansgi is located in North Karnataka. Some localities at Hansgi, Isampur and Yediapur were excavated systematically. Artifacts recovered from these localities include hand axes, cleavers, scrapers and knives, which are characteristic of the Paleolithic and Mesolithic Stone Age. The limestone formed the principal type of Stone Age. The limestone formed the principal type of stone for tool manufacture. Although other raw materials such as granite, basalt, shale, etc. were also used. Some localities around this site have also yielded some numbers of fossils of wild cattle, horses, elephants and deers. Mesolithic Age or Middle Stone Age. The later Paleolithic period witnessed a rise in temperature and the climate became warm and dry. This in turn affected human life and brought about changes in flora and fauna. The technology of producing tools also underwent a change. The Mesolithic men were still in the hunting and gathering stage of subsistence, but there was a shift in the pattern of hunting from big game to small game hunting and to fishing and fowl hunting. The use of animal bones as tools along with stones marked the biggest change in the life of man from the Paleolithic Age to the Mesolithic Age. In the loop, there were 4 different types of humans in the Stone Age. They were tool makers called Homo habilis, fire makers called Homo erectus, Neanderthals called Homo neanderthalensis, modern humans called Homo sapiens. The Mesolithic men started using special weapons known as microlith or pygmy tools made of jasper chalk or bloodstone. He started using wooden handles for tools and weapons. The beginning of the art of making clay pot is also a significant development of the Mesolithic Age. The next stage of development in stone tool technology from about 10,000 years ago is known as Neolithic Age. We will study about this in the next chapter. Value and life skills. Environmental changes have been occurring on this earth for a long period of time. What are the changes that you notice in the environment around you? If the changes are negative, what can you do to minimize them? Suppose you are a farmer of a Neolithic age living on the banks of river Yamuna. Due to monsoon floods, your farm has been partially destroyed. Write a diary entry expressing your feelings when you see all your crops being submerged in flood. Also, write what you will do thereafter. Recapitulation. Our ancestors were called anthropoids, which means man-like animals. The Old Stone Age is divided into three periods: Lower Paleolithic, Upper Paleolithic, and Middle Paleolithic. The age in which the earliest human beings lived is called the prehistoric period. Early man used to cover his body with the leaves or bark of the trees in the cold weather. Flint tools were made from small stones. It was important for humans to live in groups for the sake of self-protection. Discovery of fire must have been accidental. Thank you, class. Let's meet up again in the next chapter.